Our next speaker is Riz Crescini. And Riz is actually from Chicago, but it's been the last 10 years working in Japan and living in Japan. So he has a really interesting perspective. And having gone over there and spoken to Japanese photographers myself, they have a very different way of doing things. So I think he's got an interesting perspective to share with us. Let's see, Riz, oh, he's also a university teacher, so he's pretty smart. Welcome to the stage, Riz Crescini.
And like Kevin said, I am originally from Chicago, but the last 10 years I've been living in Japan. And what impresses me about the time that I've been in Japan is excellent customer service, which I believe, hands down, is the best in the world. I got the idea for the title from the band Alphaville. The song Big in Japan was their debut album in the mid-1980s. Now, it's my belief and conviction that these are core cultural concepts of customer service, which are big in Japan, can also be big in your business if properly applied. Jerry spoke in Japan last year. These are just two of the things that he liked about Japan. He loves karaoke. Many of you learned last night that he's a talented singer. He also had a disturbing fascination for toilet seat adapters, and I think that in itself would make a good Ignite presentation. Now, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I think Jerry would agree with me that part of the reason he had a positive experience is the excellent customer service. Now, what are those concepts? Core concept number one is uniformity. Treat your customers equally, whether they buy your high-end package or buy your low-end package. The Japanese concept is that great customer service is not the monopoly of any one service industry. I don't need to go to a five-star restaurant to get excellent service. I can go to a Japanese McDonald's and receive the same five-star treatment. It is not surprising that as I wait for my hamburger, a Japanese worker will run up to me with my order, bow repeatedly, profusely apologize for making me wait an insufferably long 2 minutes. In Japan, the customer is elevated. There is a saying, "Okyaku-sama wa kami-sama desu." The customer is like a god. This is a more elevated thinking than saying, for example, the customer is king or the customer is always right. Core concept number two, the complete experience. Do not make it a point to wow your clients with the final product. Instead, they should be blown away by the service you provide at the start, in the middle, and at the end. Take, for example, gift wrapping. Most of us in the West view wrapping as something that conceals a gift. We just want to rip through all the paper and get to the gift, right? The Japanese view things differently. The wrapping is almost as important as the gift itself. Every gift is marked by thoughtfulness and consideration, both for the gift being wrapped and the person receiving it. They equate wrapping the gift with wrapping the heart. And I want to ask you, are you wrapping your heart for your clients? Here's an excellent example of a complete experience. This is not a five-star hotel with all its great services. This is where you would stay and where you would experience for 1 week if you were a woman giving birth in Japan. My wife stayed in this hospital, and the service was so good that by the end of the week, I wanted to be pregnant. Core concept number three, anticipating needs. The Japanese are so good at this. They anticipate the needs of the clients and fulfill them aggressively. So how are you about anticipating the needs of your clients? Here's an example. Japanese construction company, roads are busy, noise pollution, so every passing motorist or pedestrian will be greeted with a diagram of a bowing foreman. Dirty roads, cute orange fluorescent monkeys. This is what you call in Japanese kikubari. Vigilant attention, vigilant care, vigilant fulfillment. May I challenge you to think of your photography business as a service that is not a reactive endeavor, but a proactive one. I was traveling to a new area, and so I was afraid of getting lost. So what does my cab driver do? He pulls over, gets out, goes into a convenience store, photocopies a map, and highlights areas that might be of interest to me. That is anticipating needs. Core concept number four, lastly, core concept number four, ownership of mistakes. When things go wrong, when mistakes happen, when the ball is dropped, simply offer a heartfelt, sincere apology to your clients with no offer of excuses. Just apologize. My Japanese friend made a colossal mistake similar to this Ryder truck. He made no excuses. He went to the offended party and sincerely apologized. And you know what? The offended party looked past his mistake and was impressed by the genuineness of his apology. Don't bury your clients in excuses. Henry Ward Beecher said, "Hold yourself responsible for a higher standard than anyone else expects of you. Never excuse yourself. You see, it's not about you. It's all about the client. When you focus on your excuses, then you're not focusing on solutions, and you're not focusing on satisfying your customer. So focus on your client. Don't focus on yourself. And lastly, if you go to my blog, there's a link to my blog to Google Docs, and there are more fascinating, funny, interesting stories of Japanese customer service. And I hope you will be inspired by the ideas you see there and benefit from these core concepts that will greatly enhance and improve your relationships with your business and your clients. Thank you very much.